Once upon a time, a mother duck discovered a new egg in her nest, 3 times as large as the others. She wasn't an idiot. She figured it was probably just another cuckoo, but she had lost 2 eggs already to nest raiding barbaric baby eaters. Most of her friends said that eggs weren't babies and that duckhood starts at birth. But what did they know? So she perched on the new egg and a few weeks later had 6 hatchlings. Now, the big egg hatched a huge, gawky infant. She named him Zeppo and tried to love him like the others. As the ducklings grew, they picked on Zeppo mercilessly, stealing his food, calling him ugly names, and leaving him out of their duckling games. Their mother tried to teach them better and blamed it all on their absentee father. Poor Zeppo vowed that if he had children of his own, he would never let them suffer so. But then, a few months later, when the hatchlings hit puberty, Zeppo's life changed overnight. Every female around began telling him what a beautiful father he would make. Hardly surprising, given that he was twice as large as any other duck. The attention went to his head, and he began mating with every female who would have him. Despite all that abundant affirmation, inside he still saw himself as an ugly, gawky child, which perhaps explains why he started to take delight in whomping the tail feathers off any ducks who once tormented him. Perhaps he was trying to pulverize the memory of his shame. In any case, soon 17 pregnant females were asking for his help in finding a nesting place. He did his best, but their demands overwhelmed him, and he fled to a cave. A particularly comely and clever duck named Dizces found him there. She told him that he should declare himself Duck King. And then he could get the other males to look after his children, leaving him free to work on one grand, glorious nest for himself and his queen. He wasn't sure, but when Dizces raised her tail, inside his head he said, "Yes, I do deserve this. I do!" Before long, Dizces was nesting in the most decked-out nest any duck had ever dared dream, with 2 blue Swedish nanny ducks waiting to care for her hatchlings. And Zeppo was ruling his kingdom with an iron wing. But whenever he looked in the mirror, he still saw that gawky, ugly child. So he issued a proclamation making ugliness a capital crime. His duck troopers moved from nest to nest, plucking any ugly babies from their mothers' bosoms and tossing them off the cliffs of clay vanity into the sucking singer snook swamps. But Zeppo's discontentment when he looked in the mirror didn't fade. So he extended his anti-ugly edict to adults. And when banishing all the ugly adults didn't improve his sleep, he declared every old duck automatically ugly. And his poor mother, who was getting on in years, was soon in the arms of the duck troopers. As she was hurled into the swamps, she screamed that she was the king's mother. The duck troopers looked at each other, and then one of them asked whether there were any good movies playing. And in those desolate swamps, did the survivors band together one day to return to the kingdom, to start a revolution, that overthrew the tyrant Zeppo and his anti-ugly reign? Of course not. What do you think this is? A fairy tale?